Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and welcome to another one of my real estate investing videos. Today I'm going to go over 2018. So this is my year in review video. Going to go over all the crazy things that happened. This was my most insane year ever in the business. Ended up buying a 68,000 square foot commercial building. We started a real estate brokerage. We flipped 26 houses. I bought another rental property, bought an Aston Martin, had to let go of a few people, hired a few more people. Just insane what happened this year. Is kind of crazy, and I didn't hit some of my goals. Wasn't perfect, but we accomplished a lot. And with so much going on, it's kind of nice to have the year come to an end and hopefully calm down a little, but I still want to accomplish a lot in 2019 and have a lot of plans for 2019 as well. So of course, check out investformore.com with much more information on my rentals, my flips, being a real estate agent, all that good stuff. And then please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like our videos. Give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate that. And I try to respond to everybody's comments, so if you leave those, I'll do my best to get back to you. All right, so let's get started at the start of 2018 and let you know how that went. All right, so before we started 2018, things were getting a little crazy, and I made some really aggressive goals because of that. I had the big, giant commercial building under contract already. So I had a pretty good idea we were going to buy it, but we still had to go through the final financing, inspection phases, things like that, so it was not a done deal. I also had been in negotiations and kind of a handshake agreement to buy a very cool car that I wanted to buy since I was about 5 years old. Again, that wasn't a done deal either, but that was something else I thought was going to happen. Along with buying the new building, I'd always kind of had the plan of starting my own real estate brokerage. So that was in the works as well. So I knew going into the year it was going to be a little crazy, but I didn't know exactly how crazy it would be or how much would be going on. And to start things off on kind of a sour, not so great note, we let go one of our really good assistants who'd worked with us for 6 years, quite a while. And I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, talk bad. It was just something that needed to be done, best for the business, and that was really hard to do. So we had to hire new people to make up for that, and that's always a process as well. So we're going through hiring some new people, buying a giant building, buying a car, which is on my personal time, doesn't take that much, and along the way we're flipping houses too. So it was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, and just want to thank my team. Justin, Nikki, Carrie did an amazing job. And later on, Karen joined us. We have new agents in their office, Charlotte and Barb, my wife, Jenny. Everyone has just been amazing to help out with the office, the business, everything that was going on. And for you who are wondering how I can do so much at once, I must work 100 hours a week. I don't. I work less than 40 hours a week. Today is Thursday, it's my golf day, so I take half the day off to play golf. It's because I have that great team. We spend a lot of time finding really good people, training them, and trusting them. And that's something that you have to do if you want to be successful and have time to yourself as well. So, we had our team. January started out rough, but we got through it. And then the beginning of February is when the big, huge changes really started to happen. So the beginning of February, we ended up buying the 68,000 square foot, $2.1 million commercial property. I bought that with one partner, and it was made up of a grocery store, a restaurant, a coffee shop, what used to be a thrift store, which was now a vacant space, another little office, and then some more vacant space. And it was just an amazing deal, kind of a pocket listing we ended up buying. And it made money from the very beginning, and I was just thrilled to get it. We had to jump through a few hoops to buy it. There were some inspection scares, but got a really great loan on it, and it has been a phenomenal property. But it has been a long time in the works to buy that property. It just didn't happen out of the blue. I bought 16 rentals from 2010 to 2015 here in northern Colorado, where I'm at. I stopped buying in 2015 just because prices have gotten so high here, you could not cash flow with rental properties anymore. And I didn't want to buy them just hoping they go up in value. I want properties that will make me money. Well, in 2017, I found some commercial properties that were cash flowing. And for those of you who ask, multifamily does not cash flow any better in Colorado than single family. Where I'm at, they're just really expensive as well. But I started buying some commercial. And it had always been a long time goal of mine to buy a giant commercial building, kind of break it up into small shop space, sell or rent out those shop spaces. And 2 years ago, I had found a giant abandoned building to buy. Actually got it under contract. It was 280,000 square feet. Great price, came with 20 acres, a ton of water, and it was an amazing deal. The problem was the building had been vacant for 12 years. All the power had been ripped out, the plumbing, the heating, all the windows were broken. It was just a giant mess. And then a school was put in right next to it, and that killed the access. There's one little road to this building, and the school leased some land. Just the whole situation made it impossible for the deal to work, so we ended up canceling it. But I have a video of that building to show you kind of how this whole process started a long time ago of buying this giant building with this even gianter building that I almost bought but didn't quite do it. So I'll show you a quick peek of that video of the giant building now, but I'll have links below that show you the full video if you want to go back and see that. But show you as much as I can. These are all offices when Hewlett Packard was in operation. Still have a bunch of old files and stuff from them. Holes in the walls, of course, people destroyed the place. Should have probably brought a flashlight with me, but I didn't think about that. Here's the main chunk of the building. As you can see, it's massive. So there's elevators right over here, stairway right over there. The same thing all the way on the other side, elevator, stairway. Stairways on that side, and on this side over here as well. 16-foot ceilings. No electricity in this building, it's all been cut out. Vandals stole most of the copper wires. Stairs are over there, which I'll make sure I have my phone light on when I go up those. Oops, stepping on something. So my plan is to split this main floor up into 5,000 to 10,000 square foot spaces with walls, possibly put a drive-through right here so people can drive in and go back across that way as well with another drive-through. Then we can put tall doors on the inside for their units. Then put human. Like I said, there's no lights on the stairwell, so I need my flashlight from my phone to see. And here we go. Opens up to huge, gigantic space up here too. These are 12-foot tall ceilings. Just keeps going and going and going. Okay, so you can see that giant building. It was huge, it was massive, and I was told later by people in the police department that even the police, other people were scared to go in there because they knew people were living there. It just wasn't a good situation. So there are other properties that we tried to buy along the way that didn't work out. So it wasn't like this just happened out of the blue. Then this big commercial one came along. We were the only ones that had a chance to buy it, which was great. Went for it. Like I said, had a few hiccups along the way with inspection, but got through that. And here's the video of that giant commercial building. We'll show a little bit again. If you want to see the whole thing, I'll have a link below. But this just gives you a peek of that. Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. I am standing outside my newest rental property, which is going to be a little different from what I've typically bought in the past. As you can see, it's pretty large, 68,000 square foot grocery store, restaurant, office space that's not included, ends kind of right there where the awning is, coffee shop, and then some vacant space. It's located on a very busy 4-lane road. Actually, my office, my real estate office, is right over there behind that tree. And yeah, pretty exciting time. Bought it for $2.1 million. Had one partner with me. We split it 50-50. This parking lot here is all included. It's 68,400 square feet, 4.5 acres. Bought it. We'd be making much more money and be really, really nice property. Here's the other vacant space. There's another tenant there, People Ready store. They bid it for $2.1 million. As I said, I think it's a smoking deal. So there's the giant big building. And along with this giant big building, I had other plans. So a long time ago, well, for a few years, I've wanted to start my own real estate brokerage. And one reason I never did it before was my primary business as a real estate agent was selling REO and HUD properties. So I have sold 200 houses multiple years on my own that were foreclosures for banks. One way I really started to build up money to buy rental properties was selling foreclosures. Well, when you're selling foreclosures, usually the contract with HUD or with other REO companies is not with the agent, it's with your broker. So since I was with another company where I wasn't the managing broker, I didn't own the company, those contracts were with that broker, but then there's agreement that I would be doing all the work for it. So if I were to start my own brokerage or leave that brokerage and move to somewhere else, there was a chance those accounts would not come to me. They probably would, but there's a chance you'd lose them, and I was not willing to take that chance. So in the last couple of years, foreclosures in Colorado have gone to basically nothing. I mean, there's almost no foreclosures. Once in a while, we'll see one. And with that, we have stopped selling foreclosures because there are none. So I think in 2018, we sold one. No, we didn't sell anything in 2018. 2017, we sold one REO. That's it, the whole year, and none in 2018. So that was not tying me down to the brokerage anymore. Buying this building was another huge step in that because there's vacant space where I could put my office. I could pay rent to myself. It just made sense. So I had already told my managing broker when I was buying that other property, the big giant one, that I might put my office in it. Gave him a heads up. With this property, I gave him another heads up. Said, hey, I'm buying this property. I'm probably going to start my own brokerage because we had 3 offices in his brokerage. A lot of office space. We paid him a lot of money. It was going to be a big hit. So when I finally did buy that property, I went back to him and said, hey, we bought the property. I'm starting my own brokerage. I want to give you a heads up. My plan is to move June 1st. Well, he called me into his office a couple weeks later, said, hey, I didn't like the way you're doing some of these things, so you have a week to move out. So that moved up the process a little bit. Ended up getting everything approved with the state. I already had my managing broker's license. I'd done that beforehand to prepare for this. And we moved into our temporary spot in the new building April 6th. So we had a temporary spot there, worked there for 2 months while we refurbished, rebuilt another vacant spot in the new building for what will be our permanent office. So I'll show you now a little bit of the temporary space and then also the permanent office that we have over in that building now. Hey, doing another quick office update video. Today was actually my last day at my old office, so we're planning to move June 1st. Got that moved up to April 6th, and today we are moving into this temporary office until we get the other space, which is right over there, fixed up. So they're still doing quite a bit of work over there. So we'll have a month or so here, but we've got my brokerage approved with the real estate commission. We are live and active. We have all our stuff moved over, and we have this beautiful space to work with right now. So we cleaned it up a little bit, have some desks in here. Nikki's over here working, and all our junk is piled in this office back here until we move for good. Those are our new real estate signs, which are going to be super awesome. So that's our temporary office for right now. Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More and Blue Steel Real Estate. We're standing outside our brand new office. I guess it's not a brand new building, but newly remodeled office. We just moved in last week, so we're super happy about that. Gonna show you what the building looks like right now. It's not completely finished, but it's really close. So we are out of there. That was our temporary spot. Moved right over there, and really happy to be in there. Everything's working out pretty well, and we're kind of working on fixing up that space just a little bit to hopefully get it rented now that we moved out of there. We were in there about 2 months working temporarily until we got into this space, And on the outside, I'll post a before video when I first bought this building, but it's kind of a peach stucco. There was no deck, no awnings, not super amazing looking building, and I think it looks a lot better now than it did before. We're still gonna put some black metal roof on that deck and then spruce things up a little bit. This is one of my new purchases from the last year. Absolutely love. But we'll take a look at the office. See, we've got our signs up, our logos, and then here's the deck right here. So before, if you look in the before video, this is actually a wheelchair ramp, and it was very ugly, very sunny, very hot, and we just made it all level with the other building, and then we're going to use that ramp over there as a wheelchair ramp, which we'll have to do a little bit of work on, but we'll get that fixed up. All right, so inside, everything is just about finished. So I'll try and go through everything we did. The floors. These are the concrete floors that were here before. We left the glue that was underneath the carpet, that's the black spots. We had some samples done that were silver gray, and we wanted that, but we came out with a more brown floor. So not super happy with the floors. They also didn't get a lot of coverage, and I'll show you an interesting spot over there we found. But overall, really happy with the building. Knew there'd be some hiccups, and we can work with the floors. But there was a wall over here that we took out from the very beginning. All right, so you can see the space that we had. It was so nice to move in, even to the temporary space and have my own place. But when we moved into the permanent space, had that all done, had my own office, that was just really cool. And almost all of my team came with me from the other office, and we hired some new people to come in there as well. It's been a really fun experience. At the same time, you know, it's been a struggle trying to decide, do I want to have a big brokerage where I'm the managing broker and handling all these agents? Do I want something small? And in the end, I'm like, I want something small. My core business is still investing. It's flipping houses. It's buying rentals. It's doing, you know, blog, YouTube videos like this. This is where I have the most fun. I don't have a whole lot of fun managing a bunch of agents. So we've kept it very small. And my goal is not to make a ton of money with the office. It's really to have my own space, my own way to sell our own properties. You know, we have property managers in-house now, and my own building. I'm in control of everything. It's fantastic. I love it. And it sounds like a really silly goal, but my goal is really to break even with the office, and I'll be pretty happy. So that was a huge step, huge milestone this year, caused a lot of craziness, but we got through it. It's going well. I'm glad I did it. And something else that, of course, we did this year was flip houses. So while we're going through this change with staff, going through the change with a new office, buying this big building, we're still flipping houses. That's really kind of been my core business the last couple of years, since the foreclosures and REO properties just disappeared from our market. And I think the house flipping business definitely struggled a little bit because so much else was going on. We just were not putting as much time into it as we normally do. And my role in that business is mostly to find deals. You know, I'll look for the MLS, wholesalers, Facebook, Craigslist, direct marketing, whatever we can do to find deals, we're doing. And I was distracted with a lot of different stuff, and we didn't really have our systems down to keep that going. So we were still buying properties, but we weren't consistent enough or buying quite as many as I wanted to. Nikki is doing an awesome job. She's my project manager at managing the contractors, managing the projects, getting them sold quickly, getting things done. And our processes have actually improved a lot over the last few years. You know, I was doing almost everything in 2013, 2014, finding contractors, managing the job sites, and things did not go very well. I had a lot of mishaps, problems with contractors. So I'd hired someone to become my project manager. He was a contractor, a manager in another business, thought he'd be perfect. Worked out horribly. Did not go well at all. So ended up trying out a few people from my team, see how they did. And Nikki came out as a person who was really on top of things, really doing the best job. And she has done great with finding new contractors, managing the job sites, working with Home Depot all the time to get things done, saving us money there. And our time to sell houses has been decreasing. I feel like our quality of work has been increasing, and our cost to do the jobs has been decreasing as well, just because of the way we run things. So it's been fantastic. But at the same time, I'm still finding deals. So if I'm not finding deals, the business doesn't do very well. So that's one thing we're working on 2019, is really trying to systemize things so that everything's done automatically, or mostly automatically. And if I'm slacking off, we still buy houses. But so we still did end up buying, I think, 24 flips in 2018. In 2017, we bought 30 or 29 or 30. I think it's 29. And we sold 26 flips in 2018, which was the exact amount of flips we sold in 2017 as well. So we felt short of our goal, but we still did amazing, still super happy, especially with everything going on. But we really had some up and downs with buying properties. We'd go a couple months without buying any, and I bought, I think, 11 in a period of 6 weeks, and we wouldn't buy any for 2 months, and we bought like 6. So I'd love to make that more consistent and buy 3 or even 4 every month. It's just not easy making that happen. It's easier said than done. So we're going to try that. We've really had a problem finding deals from wholesalers, where that was a huge part of our business in the past. So we've had to make up for that with our own direct marketing. The MLS has been really up and down. We've always done really well in the MLS, but that's even starting to get a little tougher now. There's just so few listings, but we're still finding deals there. And then I really want to push, some Facebook stuff, some Craigslist stuff, maybe even some website stuff to bring in some more consistent leads as well. So that's one of our goals there. So flipping, going great, still love it, have some great setups, hired some new employees to be on our team as we're contractors as well. That's been amazing, and just still pushing forward and going for more and more with the flips, and hopefully we can break through and just have a stellar year with them. Okay, so while the flips did great, the blog, website, other things had kind of a down year in 2018. So that happens. I've been doing the blog, investformore.com, since 2013. It had phenomenal growth, did really well in the beginning, which I had no expectation for. I had no idea what I was doing. I just started writing. From that has come about the YouTube page. We have a really involved Instagram page, Facebook page, all kinds of different things going on. I've written 6 books on Amazon. They've done really well. I love having those. But 2018 did not start nor end super well. So I've always wanted to, have some people who can help me out with SEO, with, email funnel, sales, different things like that. We have different coaching programs on the blog that I try to help people with. People love the coaching programs, but I'm not a marketer. I'm not out there trying to push them all the time, like some other people might be. So I want some help with that, because I can feel it can help people add value, or if people just want to buy my books, whatever, that's fine, or just read articles for free. It's there for that too. But we hired a company to work on the SEO, our door SEO, and if you've been around my blog or site, they just completely destroyed our site pretty much, overcharged me, completely ripped us off for over $10,000. After we tried to challenge them on that, they created a fake site, called me racist, put fake reviews on Facebook, on YouTube, all over the place. And the dude's name is Chris Reed. And it's funny, I posted a review on a site that went over all the stuff, showed their emails, all the stuff they did. And I had so many people respond to me saying either they worked for him or they were customers for him, and the same thing happened. People who'd worked for him for years, as soon as they said they're leaving, he stopped paying them, wouldn't pay him back money. The dude's just not a cool guy. So hopefully someday he can get his stuff together and figure out what his issues are. But we moved forward from him. But with that, it took a lot of work on the blog to get things fixed, because they did a lot of harm to it, some of it on purpose, some because they had no idea what they were doing. So we've been working through with that. Hire another company, a guy named Tom Cruise, who was supposed to work with me on my email list, and he overcharged us too. Then all of a sudden, he was insolvent. Yeah, just crazy stuff happening over and over again. So again, moved past that, got over it, it's fine, but things happen. So then we hired another company to help with sales, different things. Did really good for a while, did some really good sales, had some great stuff happen. Then they kind of fell down a little bit. we weren't meshing with our message. I've never wanted to be a really salesy marketing type of person. I wanted to be a real person with a real message. And so I didn't mesh real well with some of the things we were doing. So in the end, I had some really awesome news, and that is we hired a full-time person to work on the blog who's been an avid follower of mine, reader of mine for a while, loves real estate, and he's been working crazy just to get things put back together. And he's gone through a ton of change the last few months, and that's why you haven't seen many articles from me being written, because we're doing so many changes on the back end, doing so much different stuff. He didn't want me to put any new content out until we get things fixed and working better. So we did put out a new article at the start of the year, and we'll be having some more coming out here soon. So I hope you enjoy those and working on some different things. And something else that happened this year, which I know was kind of disappointing for a lot of you, and I'm sorry, but we stopped doing the podcast. I had done 150 podcast episodes, either just myself talking or doing interviews with different guests. And I know a lot of you enjoyed it. For me, it wasn't quite as enjoyable. Took so much time to schedule things, to get guests, to record them. I even had some people helping edit them, but it still was a lot of time. And just being on a strict schedule doesn't mesh well with my personality. I kind of like to do things on the fly and have time, to do videos when I want, when I have free schedules. And the podcast did not mesh well with me. It was a tough decision to decide not to do it, but once I stopped doing it, I was so much happier and had so much more free time, and it was just the right thing to do for me. So I've tried to do more videos, put more content out there. Just the podcast is not a good fit for me, and it really helped to kind of simplify my life a little bit to make my other businesses better. So hopefully you guys understand. Sorry about that, but just something I had to do for myself and my business. All right, I did all my videos last night, and I forgot to talk about the car, one of the most important things. I know a lot of people think, oh, it's stupid to buy fancy, expensive cars. I love cars. I've loved cars since I was a kid. It's a passion of mine. It helps motivate me. It helps make me more successful, and they bring a ton of joy to my life. So if you think it's stupid, that's fine. I would say find something that you're passionate about in your life and go after it. It can be a huge motivator. I bought my Lamborghini Diablo in 2014. It was amazing to buy it, and it made me do so much more in my business and life to try and get that car. I bought Lotus Esprit a couple years ago, and then this year I bought a 1981 Aston Martin that's actually used in the television series Dynasty in the 1980s. The car was owned by a designer named Bijan. He had it for 20-some years, and he let Aaron Spelling use it, who was a producer of Dynasty, and that's how the car got in there. So, super cool car. It's actually in Colorado, and I was kind of talking with the owner a bunch to buy it, and we ended up sealing that deal in February too, same time we bought the giant building. So I still want to get a Countach. Number of other cars I'd love to have, I just need more space right now. I also have a Porsche 928, a Mustang 5.0 with a supercharger that was my daily driver for 8+ years, a convertible with no heat. That was fun in Colorado winters. And then Audi S4 is my daily. So I actually did drive the Aston today. Ironically, I wasn't planning on that. Whoa, you can see it peeking out there. And then I'll show you just a clip of the full video too that I did on it, because I did a complete video on it and have links to that as well. Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. I'm standing outside my 1980 Aston Martin V8 Volante. I'm going to do a video on it here, show you all about the car. Extremely rare automobiles, not many of them around. I've dreamed of having one since I was a kid, and with values going up so crazy the last few years, I never thought I'd get one, but ended up finding a decent deal here in Colorado. Bought it a few months ago and just absolutely love the car. So I'll show you the inside, the outside. We'll take the top down, we'll start it up, we'll go on a test drive, and I'll tell you as much as I know about the car. I learned a lot since I bought it, since they only made about 50 of them in 1980 for the entire world. So there's not a whole lot of information out there on them, but they are really cool cars, really fun. It's hard to do it justice in pictures or on video, but just in person, it's just an amazing looking car. Sounds great. Not the fastest car in the world. It's got a 3-speed transmission, which doesn't help. But we'll go through all that, show you the awesome interior, which is just beautiful. And then I have some other videos as well. There's my golden doodle over there. But on the Diablo, the Porsche 928, I've got a Lotus Esprit V8 too. So if you want to see those, just search for Mark Ferguson or Invest for More in exotic cars, and they should pull up. And we'll show you more of this Aston Martin right now. So this car actually appeared in the series Dynasty. It was owned by the designer Bijan, who was friends with Aaron Spelling, and he was the producer, creator of Dynasty, and so he let him use the car. And that designer owned the car for a good 20 years, had some other exotic cars, including a Bugatti, and really loved this one, talked a lot about it in his interviews and different things, and we have some pictures of it from the show, which is really cool. And then there's a little plate right in there that says it appeared in the series Dynasty. So one of the neat facts about this car, you can see a little bit of the interior, which is just amazing. And he... So as you can see, it takes some time and some effort to get up to 80. I had my foot smashed down on the accelerator, and it doesn't get up there very fast. But in the Esprit, it's like you get there too quick to even enjoy it. That's not true, it's pretty enjoyable. But like I said, this is what the Diablo sounds like when it's warming up. It is not a quiet car. So I thought I would just show Diablo next to the Aston. The Aston is actually on, you just can't even hear it because it's so loud over here. That is pretty much the year in review. A lot of different things going on, obviously, with the blog, the business, the buildings, the flips, all kinds of crazy stuff. So 2019, we're going to keep doing a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of Instagram posts. If you aren't on Instagram, at Invest for More, have a ton of cool pictures and different stuff and fun quotes that we do. Our Facebook page is kind of doing the same thing. A lot of videos on there as well. And then I'm planning to write 3 brand new books for 2019. So I haven't done that for a while, so that should be exciting. One of them is basically done, just going through and editing it over and over again because it is fiction and something brand new. I've never done it before. It's a little scary, so hopefully it's not horrible, but that will be out eventually. And then a couple other book ideas I have. And then we want to flip 36 houses this year. That's our goal. Want to buy 2 more commercial buildings that are at least $750,000. I love the really big commercial buildings. So that's on the horizon. The real estate office, like I said, I want to break even. Not too exciting, but there it is. And then we've got some other cool stuff going on with the site. And hopefully it's another amazing year. And hopefully you guys enjoy all the content we're putting out. And if you do, love to hear from you. Love to see comments. You guys can always email me, mark@investformore.com. Give us a thumbs up for these videos if you like them. That really helps us out. So thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do another video that goes more in depth on our goals for 2019, let me know. I'll try and put one together, and we'll have a lot more content coming up soon. Thank you.